What's going on, YouTube? Today I have an update settings video for you guys, man. These are all the settings that I am currently using and that have gotten me above a 10 KD in the island. I am not a pro player by any means, but I definitely am pretty damn good at the game. I have been playing Warzone since it released, since the first day it came out during COVID. So I hope you guys do enjoy this update settings video. I've had a long time to perfect these settings. These settings are going to maximize your aim at range, close range, aim assist in general, the best audio settings, man, and some secret settings as well that I'm going to go through and explain one by one. Let's dive into it right now. Firstly, guys, before we dive into the settings, man, make sure you drop a like and a sub if you find any settings in this video or any advice that does help you, bro. I do appreciate the support big time, dude, and it means a lot and really does help the channel grow. Anyways, let's dive in. I do play on a PS5 controller currently. I have a raised right thumbstick, dome thumbsticks, and a paddle on the back, or two paddles on the back. It did come before. I took out two of the paddles because four paddles is unnecessary, and two paddles is definitely the meta in my opinion. We play on tactical flip, which allows me to shoot and aim with my top triggers opposed to using your bottom triggers. Obviously, this then becomes your tactical and lethal. I do prefer this for PlayStation controllers. If I'm playing on Xbox controller, I probably would not play on tactical flip. I just play tactical. We currently play on 2.25 sensitivity. Over time, I've lowered my sensitivity, and I feel like my shot has never been more dialed on these settings. And again, guys, if you need to slow down the video or pause it to catch other settings, ones I go over very briefly, just pause the video, man, or slow the video down. And I do play a controller vibration off. Vibration on is only going to cause inconsistency in your aim. Maybe it doesn't, but it's definitely not worth finding out. So just turn this off. I don't think there's really any notable players at all that play on this, so make sure you turn this off. For dead zone, I'm currently using 4 with 0.75. It allows us to aim it a little bit quicker. We're obviously talking like milliseconds here, but I do think this is important. And this is kind of personal preference. Obviously, the higher you have your dead zone on, the more you're going to have to move your analog stick for your analog stick to activate. And this helps with stick drift. So if you do have stick drift, just try boosting this up one by one until you don't have any stick drift. Then we have these on just to give us the fastest reaction time possible for our triggers. Sorry, did not mean to cancel out there. And then on to aiming sensitivities. This is all default. We do have, this is all default. We do have instant on this. Some players play on gradual. I do prefer instant. And then I have dynamic on, which is pretty standard for all players with a one's response curved slope scale. So there's a couple players that play on linear, and then they lower this to around 60 or 70. I really do not think linear is the play. It does sometimes feel nicer in very close range gunfights, but dynamic is just consistent in what pretty much every player plays on. And then custom sensitivity per zoom, I use 0.75 for the first 3 and 0.9 for the last 3. I have had a lot of time to dial those in, and I do think those settings are fire. Obviously, aim assist on now. Come on now. It's broken. We're going to abuse it. And then for our motion sensor settings, so a lot of people think if you have this off, then all of these settings doesn't matter what they're on. This is not true, because if you go to the bottom right now and put this on and then go into firing range, when you turn, you're going to see that it definitely did something. So just having this off does not mean that these settings are not active. These settings are absolutely active, and make sure that you have this off. It's quite important, bro. I do find that my aim is definitely a lot more consistent at long range when I have this off. Is it in my head? Maybe. But I do think having this off is important. I've also heard like Warzone pros talk about this setting as well. So it's not just me. Again, I'm not a Warzone pro, but I've heard people that are better than me at the game talk about this setting. So I definitely don't think it's all in my head. So make sure you have that off. And then for our movement, we have tactical sprint assist on, 0 sprint delay. That's going to allow us to run instantly into attack sprint. Have this on, have this off. I don't want to mantle on things randomly. Crouch assist off, corner slice off. Corner slice is kind of like that Rainbow Six Siege where you're kind of like peeking around a corner. This setting I think is like super like bogus. It's kind of like cap, because on other players' screens, when you are peeking that corner on their screen, you're just standing there and poking normally. If you've ever noticed, whenever you face anybody in Warzone, you never see them peek the corner of just their head. It's always their full body. So this setting is actually just kind of what it looks like for you. So you're better off just having a normal view and not have your screen tilt and make it weird for your aim. And guys, I am having flooring done right now, so I do apologize if there is a little bit of noise in the background. Holy shit, man. I got caffeinated on stream and I'm stuttering like a mofo. Anyways, yeah, I do use hybrid for this. This allows me to dolphin dive instantly. If you do have this not on hybrid, you're just simply not going to dolphin dive and slide as quickly and fluently as other people that are playing on hybrid. This is definitely a setting you want to switch to, man. It's going to be annoying at first to get used to, but I promise you, once you're used to it, you will feel, you will be better at the game. Your movement will be better 100%. Off. I don't think there's anything too. I do think the slide cancels are a little bit more responsive when you have single tap run on. Again, that could be cap, but just something to try out if you haven't tried it out. And then our vehicle settings, and then on to combat settings. I'm not really going to dive into any of these guys. These are just settings that you could definitely copy. I guess one that is important is definitely this one. You know, when you click your plate button, you're going to put on all your plates instead of one at a time. This definitely speeds up your plate time big time. You will put on plates much faster if you do this setting on. And then you can just copy these. Having this paired is nice. When you're using the Kimbo guns, you can just press one trigger and both of them fire at the exact same time. Sometimes if you don't have this on, you'll kind of have like a certain amount of bullets in one clip and not in the other. So I like to have that on pair for the Kimbo guns. And then on to our graphics settings. I do play on full screen borderless. If you are a PC player, you definitely want to make sure that you have this on full screen exclusive. Full screen exclusive pretty much just tells your computer, hey, focus all of your energy on the game, and I don't want to worry about anything on the background. So you definitely want this on. The only reason I have it on borderless is because I stream, and I like to pull up things on the screen easily and not have to tap out every time I open up a window on Google or whatever. So that's just personal preference, but I would play on full screen if I were you. And these are, you know, just all my settings are to maximize the frames and to also have a half decent looking game. I do play on 1440p, which is definitely nice for, you know, just how clear the game is at long range. This makes the game a little bit smoother, gives stuff more of a matte finish, makes the game look a little sexier. And again, man, all these settings are just to maximize the frames per second. I don't care about my game looking the prettiest it can. I want my game to run the best it can and also, you know, not look terrible. We have an FOV on 120. That's going to help out a ton with controlling recoil or just not having recoil. If you put your FOV on 100, you are going to have way more recoil than if you're on 120. It's just how it is. So I do play on 120 FOV. I do play on affected. A lot of people in the TikTok, man, are always saying you're a hacker. You got a Cronus. You have, I mean, people on our YouTube comments. You guys see them on the videos, man. There's always people accusing me of hacking. And I think a lot of those people that say that we have no recoil just honestly are probably playing on independent. Have never tried affected. If you're on affected, your recoil will be 4 times easier. It will be much, much lower. Make sure you have affected on. It's not even a debate. I also think this plays a little part into it as well. I like having wide on. As you can see in the display photos on the right there, actually you can't see those because my webcam's covering them. But if you could, the image on the right, your gun takes up way less of your screen, which allows you to just have better visibility. I have third person FOV on 70. This is super nice because when you're parachuting back in and landing back down, you can hold down your trigger to activate third person. And when you have this on 70, it zooms in because you have it on a low FOV. So when you zoom in on the parachute, it's nice because you can kind of scope out areas that you're trying to land down in. This is kind of a slept on setting, to be honest. Why for this? Motion blur off. You definitely want motion blur off. It's going to give you better visibility. Better visibility equals better aim because you're seeing people faster, better. We have this on 50%, dude. Your camera and your recoil is going to be far more. It's going to shake a lot more when you're getting shot. If you do not have this on 50%, you want to make sure you have this on 50% on both of them. And then onto our audio settings. This is all personal preference. I do think Sucker Punch is the best audio in the game for my headset. So definitely something to try out if you haven't tried it out. We have asymmetrical hearing compensation on. Some people say have this off on. Try it out for yourself, man, and see what you like. And then for voice chat settings, again, this is all kind of just personal preference. And then on to interface. Again, all this is personal preference. I guess I don't think I've run any filters. Definitely want square minimap on. You're going to be able to see more on your minimap opposed to having it round. What else? Is there anything that is important here? I don't think so, other than probably crosshair. I'm not sure where the crosshair is. Right here. If you want to copy my crosshair, that's what I use. And on to the outro, fellas. And yeah, guys, that is my updated settings for Warzone. If anything ever changes in the future, I will be sure to upload another updated settings video. Anytime I ever change anything, I always upload a video to YouTube, man. So this is my updated settings at this current time. Obviously, with the new Warzone coming out, I'm sure there'll be a couple new settings. So we'll definitely have a new settings video coming out in the next couple of months for sure. If you guys found anything helpful in this video, make sure you drop a like and a sub. It really does help the channel grow. It helps push the video out to more people. I do appreciate it big time, man. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.